Hey everybody, this is Perch. I had a lot of people send in mail on this topic. A lot of it not polite. Let's say one direction or another. People are very passionate about this topic. Um, I think there's a group of people who are very passionate about this topic one way or another, and then there's a larger group that is either oblivious to it or somewhat, doesn't really care because they get to the answer that I'm probably about to give. So here we go. It says, "Hey Perch. So dying to hear your take on this ISOM art scandal. Not sure if you have a take or not that you want to share, but damn, the whole book is the product of existing 3D models." Okay. It says, "I'm not mad at Eric July. He could be like a lot of comic fans that don't have a critical eye regarding the art in comics, who I really take, or sorry, who I really take have an issue, what I really have an issue with is guys like Nerdrotic and Heels versus Babyface. What about tweeners? It can't be. It's not Heels versus just Babyface. You got. Anyway, sorry. But I digress. It says these guys praise ISOM books like crazy to what? Chase Rippaverse, clout, and dollars. Have these guys become the shills they complain about daily? I wish Eric July no ill will. So I do really take someone to straighten up his ISOM art situation." And then there's a PS says, "PS, I think using existing assets you find online or in some 3D software is completely wrong unless you let your reader know beforehand this is the way you'll be producing the book. Eric claims he wants to be better than the big two. Well, this isn't the way. Hiring Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett sure is a way to show up big comic guys. The two issues of ISOM completely created with existing assets isn't winning, in my opinion." All right. Do I have a take on it? My take is fundamentally this, and it's informed by years and years of questions like this one. This isn't the first book to come along and have allegations of using 3D renders or tracing or using visual models or any number of things. It's common. It's been common in the industry for a long time. If I go way, way back, Peter David was pointing out this practice a long time ago, back in when he was writing for that newsletter. And this was when the Image founders immediately jumped to Image. And there was like article after article of tracing and allegations of swiping and all this kind of stuff. And then then there was a backlash against Peter David that he was just shilling for his parent company Marvel by taking it out on the Image guys who left. And anyway, this went around and around and around. It's not a new. This isn't something that occurred with Eric July and ISOM. It didn't start. Sorry, it didn't start with Eric July and ISOM. Greg Land. That joke has been going on forever now. And Greg Land continues to get work, and Marvel keeps publishing stuff he does, and it sells. I mean, that's it. And that kind of gets to the answer to your question. It is this. It's up to the buyer. If the art works and the buyers are happy, then you do what you want. I think that, to me, it's when you're putting the art together, it's all about how that composition comes together. Does the art flow? Do the pieces all work? Or does it stick out like a sore thumb? Now, I haven't seen enough to ISOM to give you an answer one way or another, but that's it. That fundamentally is it. If the stuff looks like it was cut and paste from asset resources on the internet, then it's going to get, people are not going to want to buy it. The art's going to look inauthentic and phony. And that's what's going to kill the book. Not necessarily that it's using 3D art, but it's how it's using that 3D art. You can look at a lot of books and, including like there were backgrounds and things that Joe Mad was doing. It wasn't really him. It was the colorist and other people involved in the production of X-Men. But there's a period during Uncanny X-Men where somebody discovered Photoshop filters and it was very distracting. You couldn't enjoy kind of Joe Mad's art because you've got this very highly filtered background, or there's a period of time where people realized you could just use the fill tool to create that brick wall, and so you had these perfectly clearly computer generated bricks. Again, this has been going on for a long time, and if you do it poorly, it sticks out in a bad way. And if you do it well and the art composition works and the page flows and, everything is more or less happy, that's really the answer. And so, to answer the question, I'll kind of reverse it back to you. Are you happy when you pick up the book? Does it look good? A lot of people are complaining about, I don't know, a lot of people, some people are complaining about the 3D art assets and everything else, and it's being used in critiques, and it seems to be the thing people want to go after him for right now is about the art. I my feeling is there's a lot of people who use 3D art assets. I've seen a lot, and I mean a lot, of, I'm not going to say the majority, but it feels like it, of crowdfunded books and indie books that have tons of 3D models in them. And I don't hear a lot of people complaining about that, but, they're also not putting up numbers like ISOM is. And so keep in mind a lot of this as well is that comic is successful in terms of fundraising, largely because of, the name and brand of Eric, that's, it comes into the picture with that. Yeah, he just comes with a built-in audience. So he's doing well. And the fact that he's doing well seems to be leading to a increase, let's say, of people pointing out his art or complaining about his art or noting that there's 3D assets there. But I mean, all that is noise to some extent to you and your wallet. You pick up the book, you open it up, you read it. Is it a good comic? Yes, no. Do you enjoy the story? Does the art work? Is it jarring? Somewhere in between? I don't know. That's your call. And I've seen a lot of comics where the 3D art pulls it off, and it's fine because the person who's compositing everything knows what they're doing, and it just fits. Or they're tracing over the 3D art in such a way that it still has its own life and it looks organic. The art looks good. And then there's other pages where it sticks out like sore thumb. And that's kind of that's your call. I think it's, you can make, and a lot of people love, and it comes in waves. I remember back when a lot of people first started doing crowdfunding, there were all these people who were doing these mini art critiques. They were pulling pages and they're like, this shoulder looks wrong from an anatomy perspective. And then it goes away for a while. It feels like that's coming back a little bit. People are excited about that. But, the funny part is you can go back and you can grab John Byrne work or John Romita Jr. work. By the way, no way am I comparing kind of a 3D stock library picture of a car. So it was, to, something that Mike Mignola is doing. There's a huge difference there. But at the end of the day, does the art work for you or not? That's it. As for the other part, what Nerdrotic and Heels versus Babyface. Well, now I got we got the joke Babyface. There aren't a lot of baby faces in wrestling anymore. It's definitely, I think the 90s drove that largely out. You got a lot of, tweeners. You got a lot of people in the middle. Anyway, it's cool to be in the middle, right? Yeah. Anyway, I as far as them liking the comic, I mean, who knows? I mean, look, this is the problem with trusting kind of your comic insights or what you like or putting that in the hands of others. Don't do it. There's always going to be somebody who's going to come around who, for whatever reason, is going to like something or shill for something you don't like. And it could be because they're getting paid. It could be because they're trying to do somebody a favor. It could be that they actually like it. I have no idea, and none of us do. And it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You have to make up your own decision and spend the money out of your own wallet. That's what it comes down to. So there you go. Not a very satisfying answer, I know, but I'm seeing a lot of people. I'm seeing a lot of people rail against 3D art for this particular book, who use photo reference and trace, and have had plenty of those allegations. In some cases, I think people who have been caught tracing get super pissed. And by the way, we're gonna see this all again. We're moving further and further into the world of AI art. And so this is going to be the forever argument. People are going to use AI art to do backgrounds or do some piece, and then that's going to come out, and everybody's going to be angry. I mean, look, it's you can get worked up about it if that's what gets you off. But at the end of the day, when you pick up that comic and you read that comic, do you like it? Is the story engaging? Do you feel like you spent $5, hopefully $5, $4, hopefully less, hopefully like $2, $3, or God help you, like $60 or whatever the hell some of the books are billed at. If you pick up the book and you enjoy it, what's the classic expression? Enough said. That's it. It really doesn't need to be more complicated than that. I think getting into if it's more complicated than that really is just farting around online, in my opinion. Okay. Now, we've all picked up comics, by the way, and you look at it and the art is just terrible, and the artist is clearly tracing, and the characters, go from one scene to another. It doesn't even make any sense, and all the rest, and the art is super distracting to the book. Well, again, is the person a bad artist? Are they using photo reference? Are they tracing? Are they using 3D models? Are they using AI? It doesn't really matter. The art sucks. And I think you can just leave it at that. I don't personally feel cheated, by the way. If I spend, $10 on a comic and I love it, it's a good book. Like if I found out that Dave Gibbons was tracing a bunch of stuff in Watchmen, it wouldn't take away my enjoyment of Watchmen. He did a good job. The book looks good, reads good, flows good. I'm happy. How he got from start to finish line, I don't really care, because the end product is good for me. I don't think if somebody is using photo reference, it doesn't, I don't feel like I deserve to pay less, for example. I think it's all in how talented the person is doing it. So there you go. Anyway, a lot of you keep asking me to review Isom. I'm getting to it. I know it's been out for a while, but I'll do it. I don't like how some books are so polarizing that you try and come in and just like, here's a review. It's like, nope, you're part of the fight now. It's like, that's fun. Anyway, thanks for listening.